Hello and welcome to the Irvin J. Nutter Center. It's Raider basketball here on Media One. Along with Toni Roesch, I'm Geoff Kim. Conference matchup between the University of Illinois Chicago and, of course, the home team, Wright State. Wright State, of course, has senior day.
Well, they sure do, and Carrie Bender, she's just done an outstanding job for the team, giving this team some great leadership. But the thing about Carrie is the fact that when she comes in off the bench, she is such a role player that she does what she needs to do, does what Coach Finch wants, and she's such a steady player that really sets a tone for the rest of the team.
Of course, looking to the other side with the University of Illinois Chicago, they have an outstanding player of their own in Holly Tam.
Well, Holly Tam, not only is she leading the team in scoring, she's leading the team in rebounding and steals, and is second on the team in assists. So she's doing very well. She's their go-to player. She likes to penetrate a lot. She can shoot very effectively from about 15 feet out, so she's a very nice player.
It's the Raiders and the Flames, and we'll have all the play-by-play when we come back in just a moment. It's senior day here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center. Along with Toni Roesch, I'm Geoff Kim, as we're getting ready to take this one into the final game here of this home season, this 1998-99 campaign. Toni, it's been a tough year for the Raiders, but they've shown a little resilience.
They certainly have. They've done a very nice job of really gaining the experience and looking to gain the chemistry amongst the team, and you can see the growth process as the season has gone on. Coach Finch has really done a nice job of teaching the team, because on a whole, for the most part, they're very young. So when you have a young team like that, you spend a lot of time teaching and trying to really implement the philosophy and in terms of timing, especially with the offense. So it just takes a little while to get it developed, and you can see the progress as the season has gone on.
A very young team. In fact, Wright State honoring their lone senior today. That's Carrie Bender, of course, the senior, 5'8" guard out of Canfield. So, of course, as you see out there, some of the Wright State staff, the coaching staff, along with Associate Athletic Director Julie Cromer, and Carrie getting some plaudits.
Well, Carrie's had a nice career, and the thing that impresses me most is just her overall demeanor on the floor. She's very steady, and at times when she comes into the game, it's exactly what the team needs, because she's able to give a spark to the team as well as giving a lot of consistency.
And of course, 2 nights ago, not afraid to take the big shot. Of course, in the end of the first overtime, she missed the long 3, but she had the 3 to start off the second overtime that really sparked the 5-point win.
Oh, she almost got that one to fall, and it's unfortunate because you could see it in her eyes. She wanted it, and she had an opportunity. It was just a little short, and actually it was in the cylinder and back out, but we had talked about that with her a little early on, and she really is just thrives on being able to shoot and knock that down, and she loves it. And there's an old saying, you got to shoot to get hot, and you got to shoot to stay hot. So, that's kind of her philosophy a little bit.
And a nice round of applause for Carrie Bender through her 4 years at the Nutter Center and here at Wright State. Of course, some major changes, really. I mean, we've been able to get a TV package for the entire season here with this women's team, and also being able to just see some improvements and hopefully a lot of youth, actually, as we wait and get ready for the start of our national anthem.
Twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright
Lady Flames, led by first-year head coach Tim Eatman. They come in with a record of 3-18, 1-8 here in the MCC. At the guard spots, it'll be number 15, Jamie Bulowski, a 5'6 senior out of my hometown, Downers Grove, Illinois. She'll run along with number 22, the star of the team, Holly Tam, 5'7 sophomore out of Muskego, Wisconsin. The forwards are number 32, Angela Wenzel, 6-foot freshman out of Sussex, Wisconsin. She'll run with number 14, Josie Cole, 5'9 sophomore out of Chicago, Illinois. The center is number 35, Stephanie Jost, 6'3 sophomore out of Morton Grove, Illinois. For Wright State, led by second-year head coach Lisa Fitch, coming in with a record of 7-15, 3-7 in the MCC this year. She'll send this starting lineup on out. It'll be the senior at a guard spot, Carrie Bender, wearing the number 3, 5'8 senior out of Canfield. She'll run with number 32, Amber Williams, 5'8 sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. The forwards are number 22, Regin Stewart, 5'9 sophomore out of Indianapolis, Indiana. She'll run with number 40, Jess Vandergeest, a 5'11 junior out of Merrill, Wisconsin. The center is number 41, Lenora Combs, 6-foot junior out of Newport, Kentucky, by way of Cincinnati State. The officials in this Midwestern Collegiate Conference matchup Art Bowmingen, Lisa Mattingly, and Tina Napier. They get the dirty work here in this conference matchup.
Well, the thing about the University of Illinois Chicago is the fact that they have a new coaching staff in this year. They're brand new, and not only is the staff new to each other, but they have to get used to the players have to get used to them, so it takes a while to get adjusted. But the one thing is you have to look for this team in the future because they had such an outstanding recruiting class. They had the 20th ranked recruiting class in the country, and actually they were above Notre Dame and Old Dominion. So you got to look for this team to have some good things to come in the future for them.
And if I'm not mistaken, Old Dominion just a couple years ago in the NC2A final. So
not only just a couple years ago, but they have such a fine tradition and over the past decade actually. So they've had an outstanding even going back to the early 80s, they've done extremely well. And Marianne Stanley, did such a nice job with them. And, certainly she's been a mentor for a lot of people and still doing well at it, Berkeley. So she does some nice things. But Tim as well, he's had such a great career as an assistant. He was at Kansas under Marion Washington and also an assistant at Iowa under Vivian Stringer, who's now at Rutgers. And so he's had some very, very good people he's worked under. So there's not a doubt in my mind that he's going to do a nice job with his team.
Both teams coming out to the Center Wolf in the final home game of this 1998-99 campaign for the Wright State Raiders. Jess Vandergeest will go center, and she'll go with their center out there. That being Stephanie Jost. Tip belongs to the Flames, and we're underway. Start off at the point with Josie Cole. Robin Westrom into this ball game. She's a starter. We got a late starting lineup apparently for the Flames. Going and a foul. No, a traveling violation. A traveling violation on the star, Holly Tam, and Wright State will get their first opportunity on offense with 19:38 remaining in half number one.
Well, it was good defensive possession by Wright State. Everybody was moving their feet, sliding with the offense very well, and they were able to take some things away. The penetration, which UIC likes to do.
Nearly taken away, but Regina Stewart comes up with it. She had 20 points and 10 boards Thursday night. Williams gets a touch, now over for Combs, now Regin Stewart. Around the way, Carrie Bender, the three, and it's no good. Rebound, it's on the floor, Regin Stewart. This one tossed out of bounds, we will head the other way.
Good hustle by Regin Stewart, but at the same time, Carrie Bender, she's going to be ready to shoot tonight, especially with UIC sitting in that 3-2 zone, and that they'll probably play that most of the game. They have a difficult time matching up with Wright State, and Coach Eatman is not real thrilled with their man-to-man defense, so you might see a lot of zone tonight.
They go with Tam on the near wing. The bounce pass inside taken away, and Bender comes up with it.
Well, Tam trying to create the passing angle, but unfortunately between her and Josie Cole, they missed each other. Cole was going in one direction, and Tam created the angle going in the other direction.
And a foul. This one was going to be an over and back, but they're going to call the foul on Holly Tam. That's the first personal for her and the first team foul.
Well, Carrie Bender trying to protect the ball. It was actually had the position, and Tam came over and just got her from behind, and Carrie went flying.
That was what you'd call, I believe, a senseless foul.
That was purely accidental, I believe. Tam trying to go for the ball. Unfortunately, she made contact.
No score. 18:40 remaining in half number 1. They look inside Vandergeest to kick out. Bender thinks about the 3, goes back to Vandergeest on the baseline. Nice pass to Lenore Combs. Can't get it. Stick back. It's tip. Yes, and it's 2-0 Raiders.
Great ball movement by Wright State. They're working their in and out very well. They have a triangle on ball side created, which really causes some problems for the defense. And very good passing, and Lenora Combs cutting real hard to the basket.
She had 15 points and 7 boards 2 nights ago against Loyola. Go with Westrom. Go inside, and a foul call.
Well, UIC is trying to post up Josie Cole and really looking to take Amber Williams to the basket. Josie's posting up very hard, and they're actually running a little bit of a flex variation right now and coming off the high post and posting up the guard. And so Amber's really going to have her hands full, as well as anybody who comes in and guards her.
Jost goes for Tan, taken away. Rachel Stewart has this one deflected out of bounds, and it'll be a UIC possession. Last touch by Stewart.
Well, Regin trying to get the pass inside to Lenora, but the thing is when you're going to make that pass inside, you need to fake a pass to make a pass or create a passing angle, and she tries trying to telegraph that pass a little bit too much.
Foul. This Wright State will take back on over. Sloppy game on the outset.
UIC fouls on 35 is Stephanie Jost.
Jost will pick up her first personal. That's the team's second already here in the first couple of minutes.
Coach Eatman wants to talk to Holly Tam a little bit, giving her some instruction, and evidently she's not executing what he wants done, or maybe to give her a little bit of advice and some other things that she can do. But she's such a nice player, obviously leading the team in scoring and rebounding as well as steals.
Keeping it around the arc and taken away. Pass a little too high for Jess Vandergeest. Berlowski into this ballgame. We had called her a starter. Now finally on in, a couple minutes on into this ballgame. Cole back up on top. And Maria Galati is also into this ballgame. Three is popped by Cole and home.
Amber not really getting out and contesting too much. I think she was expecting the penetration, but because Cole penetrates so well, that's what the scouting report is on her, and that's what she likes to do. So you have to certainly play the drive, especially as the clock's running down. But Cole saw that she had an open shot, so she decided to take it.
Stewart, double teamed on the far side, the kick out. Vandergeest back in motion for Bender. 3 of her own coming, no good. Rebound, Lenora Combs, stick back, yes.
Nice positioning for Lenora Combs on the backside board. Carrie putting up a three-pointer, and once she needs to take, and you know, Lenora back on that backside just did a nice job in positioning herself.
1 point lead for Wright State. Berlowski at the point. Westrom behind the arc, going for Galati. Pass inside. Has this one blocked. And Wright State will take on over.
Regin Stewart using her athleticism and coming up with a very nice block.
Move by Williams to the hoop, and a traveling call.
Amber trying to create a little bit there. The defense shifted over. There was actually 3 defenders right there, and as she looked to make the penetration, the defense shifted a little bit and gave her something else to look at. So that's a difficult move for her, and she can read the defense a little bit better because she penetrates so well and splits the seams very well.
Timeout on the floor, Raiders by 1, and we'll be back in just a moment. One-point lead for Wright State at the 15:51 mark here in half number 1. Of course, these UIC Flames, they have lost their last 9 in a row. They faced a very good Butler team, a team that we saw a couple weeks ago, Tony, and lost to them by a margin of 87-43. So we know what kind of team, just by who they played in the Butler Bulldogs, that we're matching up against.
Well, the thing is Butler's such a good team, and Olkowski's doing such a nice job with them, and she's really getting them geared up for the postseason play and obviously for the conference tournament as well. But UIC they're young, they're a little bit inexperienced, and a whole new philosophy, so it's going to take a little while for them to get adjusted.
Wright State on the outset shooting 40% from the field. All the scoring coming from Lenora Combs. Galati with the ball. Vandergeest has the assignment. High-low, go with Cole and in. Count it.
Once again, Cole down on the low block. Amber Williams, it doesn't matter if it's Amber Williams or any perimeter player. You put them down on the block, and they're not used to playing some post defense. And post defense obviously is much different than playing on the perimeter. When you're on the perimeter, you're containing, you're forcing to one side. When you're down in the low block, you have to play on a shoulder and take away the passing lanes. And so it's a little bit difficult when you're not used to doing that.
Tam back, Westrom out for UIC. Kelly Waters looking to check on in for Wright State. And Josie Cole has accounted for all 6 points that her team has put up.
What's kind of funny and ironic is the fact that the perimeter players think that the post players always have it so easy, and the post players think the perimeter players have it so easy, and the perimeter players or the post players always want to handle the ball. And so now you get a little bit of a taste and a true appreciation of what each position actually has to go through.
Williams in trouble. However, Wright State should retain possession, and they will. Kelly Waters in there for Wright State, 5'11" freshman out of Cold Spring, Kentucky. Also, Stephanie Jost back into this ball game for UIC and a turnover.
Looks like there was a little miscommunication there with where the picks are supposed to be set or where the pass was going, but it was very good hustle by Jess trying to track that ball down. Jess was actually on the opposite side of the court on the left side and tried to track it down over on the right side.
Work its way around, and a holding foul up on top. It's going to be on Shanda Hollingsworth. That'll be her first personal and the team's third.
Well, again, a point of emphasis this year is the hand checking, so you have to play defense with your feet and not your hands.
Jost looking for Tam. Fires the three, knock it down.
Tam really uncontested is shooting 29% from the three-point line, so she's going to take what she can.
Tam had 13 2 nights ago against Butler. Her first points of the ball game, averaging 16 a game. Hollingsworth, as Vandergeest sets up a little screen. Go to Jess. Williams down low, Lenora Combs, and then the give back. Vandergeest to the hoop and a block, but a foul. No foul, it's just out of bounds.
Well, pretty good ball movement by Wright State. Actually just passed up a shot right there at the free throw line. She also looked to go inside to Lenora, not quite there. So with her at the high post, she's going to have to turn and square up and really take some initiative because she's used a little bit more playing on the block.
Stewart back on in for Waters. Here's Regin, has her shot blocked, and UIC will take on over. Cole dashing to the hoop, goes strong in and count it.
Cole actually going coast to coast, and nobody's stopping the ball, so she did the right thing and taking the ball all the way to the basket. As you can see, nobody's stopping, a little bit of miscommunication. You need to talk. If you're coming down the floor as a defensive player and you can't stop the ball, you need to tell somebody else to help pick up so that you are stopping the ball, because you don't stop the ball, that's what the end result is.
Foul picked up by Lenora Combs. That's her first personal and the team's fourth, and a timeout on the floor. Charge to Wright State. They want to get this one out of hand. The Flames are already now on an 8-0 run. Showing some good defense on the pressure and getting some three-point opportunities of the old-fashioned variety by Josie Cole.
Well, that's for sure. Cole she really is such a good athlete, and the thing that she likes to do most is penetrate. But you know, you can see tonight is they're posting her up and they're really trying to take advantage of the perimeter play defensively.
Josie, a 70.5% free throw shooter on the season. And with that, she has 9 points, bettering her 8.5 average. It's 12-4. This one taken away. Grolowski, but loses it on the floor, and Regin Stewart picks it on up. Here comes Wright State. Combs firing three, knock it down.
That was a nice ball movement, good skip over to Lenora by Amber Williams, and Lenore right there had her feet set.
You can tell she's feeling it already. 7 points for her. 14:05 remaining in half number 1. 5-point lead for the Flames.
Well, UIC looking to pick up the tempo a little bit. They're picking up full court, but you can see the change in tempo in their offense as well. They're cutting a little bit harder, good hard passes, and they're really trying to make some things happen.
This one on the floor, picked up by Jost. And the give out to Wenzel, no good. Just comes up with it, and we have a foul.
UIC trying to trap down in the corner, and just did a nice job of looking to split the defense. But UIC looking to pick up full court, and they're diamond. They're backing off this possession, but the last possession, they're picking up and they're diamond and actually looking to trap in the corners.
Angela Wenzel, 6-foot freshman, a forward out of Sussex, Wisconsin, picks up their first personal. That's the team's third. 12-7. We have 13:36 left to go in half number 1.
Right now, UIC in a little bit of a half-court diamond and matching up in the back with the two players in the back, actually matching up with the offense. So it's almost in a 1-2-2 set.
Williams looking for Vandergeest, the kick out. Stewart, 3, and it's way short. Out of bounds, out on the baseline. It'll still be a Wright State ball with 1 on the shot clock.
Well, Regin had to put that ball up. The clock was getting down a little bit, but Wright State has some good ball movement. But what they have to do is they have to make sure that they attack the basket, either through the ball movement or...
On the way, no good. Shanda Hollingsworth, and picked up by Robin Restrom back into this ball game. High-low, turnaround Jay, no good. And a foul.
Nice box up by Lenora Combs. She was able to get Stephanie Jost going over her back. But that's one of the things that you can see with Wright State and how they're really progressing. Fundamentally, they're doing some nice things very well with boxing out and positioning and getting the timing down in their offense. And all of that just takes time to gel.
Jost picks up 2 quick fouls. Team fouls are even at 4. Vandergeest looking to take it into the paint, gives it on up and has it taken away by Galati.
Just should have looked to have taken her shot. She could have pulled up right in the middle of the key.
Tam misses the open 18-footer, and here comes Wright State on the break. Vandergeest missing Williams, now goes to Amber, down low, and we have a tie-up.
Well, you have to give credit to UIC getting back in their transition defense. They look to stop the ball, and we had talked about it early on. Yes, you want to stop the ball as it's coming down, and they did a nice job of recovering and filling in on Amber Williams and taking away the passing angle, but just tried to create an angle.
Wright State gets the ball on alternates as Westrom comes out, and Jamie Bielowski, that 5'6" senior guard out of my hometown, as we mentioned before, Downers Grove, Illinois, comes back into this ball game.
Well, last year she was named Female Athlete of the Year for the school in 1998.
Tells you something about her overall ability as a student athlete. Combs, head of the key. Keeping it around the arc. Amber Williams for 3, no good. And the rebound to Cole. Boy, she's been everywhere so far in the first 8 minutes. They go high-low. Turn around Jay, put up, and no good. Lenora Combs, loose ball, and she'll get it.
Lenora once again with good positioning and tracking down that rebound.
Combs for 3 off the front. Bilowski the rebound, quickly outlets way up ahead. Tam to the hoop and in.
UIC really looking to pick up the tempo of the game. Wright State's going to have to get moving a little bit. Amber Williams a little bit hampered with that ankle sprain the other night. Not moving quite as well. You can see her limping a little bit, but the other thing is where you can really see it is she's not being as assertive with the ball as she normally is, because she will attack the seams. She penetrates the gaps extremely well, and tonight she's a little reluctant to do that. When you got that ankle sore, it makes things a little bit difficult and takes away from your game.
Hollingsworth misses the 3. Ollie Tam picks up her first personal. I actually checked that, her second personal. What a battle underneath the basket. Well, we have 11:17 left to go in this first half. The Flames doubling up on the Raiders. It's 14-7. We'll be back in just a moment. 7-point lead for UIC as take a look at what we just saw on the last foul by Holly Tam. Yes,
Holly Tam picking up her second foul, and she certainly doesn't want to get her third because she's going to be sitting on the bench and going over the back right there on Jess Vandergeest, just having some pretty good inside position there. You know, Jess is so strong on the boards, and she's just a little bit of everywhere, making some things happen. But Holly Tam, she's their go-to player, and they don't want her on the bench. That would just be like having Jess, and you know, certainly Wright State had to play without her in overtime the other night, so you don't want to lose her.
They did a fine job, even though she was saddled with 4 fouls with a minute into the second half in that last win against Loyola. Regin Stewart up on top. Full complement on the shot clock. Carrie Bender back into this ball game. And they nearly got the over and back, but saved by Hollingsworth. Also Janine Andrews into this ball game. She'll pop from 16 and in.
That's a great shot for her. But the other thing is very good ball movement and extremely good patience by Wright State in that half-court offense.
Janine had 9 points and 11 boards, the team high, the game high 2 nights ago. Shot put up, no good for Wenzel. And here comes Wright State.
Well, that's the key when you play against a zone. You have to make sure you get the ball movement. If you stand around, it just makes it so much easier for the defense.
Oh, nice play by Vandergeest.
Good second effort by Jess, and that was a nice putback.
Raiders have scored the last 4. 10-15 left to play in half number 1. Flames 14, Raiders 11. Going with Wenzel in the paint. Goes glass, no good. Rebound, stick back, no good. And Janina Andrews pulls down her first. Quickly up ahead, Regin Stewart looking to create. Jess now back to Janine for another jumper at home.
You can just see the progress that Janine Andrews is making, and that's something she didn't do early on in the season. But the other thing is Wright State now answering UIC's call, pushing the ball up the floor and looking at the defense and really reading the numbers very well, but the ball movement is outstanding tonight.
Wright State on a 6-0 run. They're down by 1 at the 9:53 mark. A 20-second timeout charged to Tim Eatman and his crew.
Well, Tim has to settle things down. Wright State is starting to pick up their tempo a little bit, getting their legs underneath them and getting into the flow of the game a little bit more. But the other thing is you have to look at Wright State and the fact that you have some other players coming in off the bench and answering the call, and you have to do that. When you come in off the bench, you have to contribute. You can't rely on 1 or 2 players every game to get the job done. And certainly you have to give credit to Janine Andrews doing an outstanding job.
Golowski, as Hollingsworth has the assignment on her. Josie Cole waiting to get back into this ball game for UIC. They go give and go. This one blocked out of bounds. However, contact made and a foul.
Well, UIC staying for the most part in a little bit of a flex offense, and when you're running that flex, you have to make sure that the help side defense is there, because they'll run the triangle and they'll look to post up inside, and they have that give and go cut, especially coming off that high post pick, so the help side defense needs to be there as well. You have to make sure that you're, as the defender, you're getting over top of that pick when they're coming off the high post, and you can see that cut right there by Belowski, and she just came right down, and Shandon needs to make sure that she follows that cut.
Golowski, 59% shooter from the charity stripe, gets them both. 16-13 in favor of UIC. Pressure on the inbound. Stewart gets it on into Hollingsworth. Pressure will be broken. And a blocking call. Regin coming up in a big old hurry on the near sideline, and the foul's going to be on Berlowski. That'll be her first and the team's 6th.
Well, that's what you need to do when you're going up against a full court press like that. You have to take the ball, make them stop you, and that's where she was able to get Belowski not cutting off the sideline. Belowski tried to get there, but Regin doing a nice job of keeping the ball alive. What you don't want to do is come over half court and pick up your dribble and then look to pass it.
Amber Williams back on in as Carrie Bender will take a seat, and she'll have the ball. Williams thinking about 3, and we'll give it back up to our running mate at guard, Shanda Hollingsworth, and they'll play a 2-man up on top. Bounce pass inside, Regin Stewart, low block, and a walking call on Regin.
Well, that was a nice feed inside. Again, nice patience by Wright State. Regin posting up very hard, but unfortunately it was a mishandle of the ball. Had she been able to come up with the ball, she would have had a nice drop step power move to the basket because she had the defense sealed on her back.
Josie Cole back into this ballgame for UIC, having the ball. Amber Williams on her. Lottie looking to get into the low block. Andrews on her. Now Berlowski down on the low block, feeds for Cole and deflected out of bounds by Jess Vandergeest.
Well, UIC really trying to attack the basket, making Wright State have to play some defense. But at the same time, they haven't been shooting all that well, and they don't put up too many shots. They're only averaging 54 points a game, almost 55 points a game, and so they're going to attack the basket. And right there, it was a nice cut inside by Angela Wenzel.
Direct pass, entry pass in towards the basket. 5-point lead for the Flames. They go to Andrews, low block, goes glass, and no good. Still a volleyball match, and Wenzel comes down with it.
Well, Janine looking to put the ball up, and she needed to do that. Defense recovered well enough that she wasn't able to have a drive to the basket, but she needs to continue to take her shot.
Out of bounds. Wright State will take on over. Just Vandergeest coming on out.
You can see a little deflection right there. Amber Williams getting their hand on the ball, and Janine Andrews right behind, and you could see that UIC went to go save the ball, but unfortunately went right back at Janine Andrews.
Vandergeest out, Lenore Combs back on in for Wright State. Shanda double teamed and finds Combs right at the wall. .12 on the shot clock. Hollingsworth will pop the three. It's on the way. No good. Rebounded by Wenzel. Quickly up ahead. Berlowski saves it out on the corner. The kick out. Westrom now intercepted. Here comes Williams. Taking it strong to the hoop. Going up and in. Count it.
Amber Williams doing an outstanding job getting her hand in the passing lane, coming up with the steal and going coast to coast and able to draw the three-point play. She's still hampered a little bit by that ankle. You can see her gimping a little bit after she made that shot, but did a nice job with the upper body control and looking to finish on the shot, and certainly sighting her target on the way up.
Amber to the line, trying to get the old-fashioned three. 67% shooter from the charity stripe this year. She had 17 points 2 nights ago, and she made a living from the charity stripe, too.
Well, that takes good concentration. When the defense comes down and contests you as hard as UIC contested that shot, and certainly fouling, it takes a lot of concentration to be able to finish.
Timeout on the floor, Flames by 2. We'll be back in just a moment. 7:43 remaining in half number 1. This one being played close to the vest, 18-16 in favor of the Flames, but Wright State finally starting to see some offensive momentum.
Well, they certainly are. They're looking to pick things up a little bit defensively. They've had a couple nice steals, a couple possessions where they've gotten their hands in the passing lane, and certainly going down in the low block, they've been able to deflect some passes. But the other thing is they have some great movement in their half-court offense.
Coming up at the half, Toni Roesch will take you through intermission, and she'll talk with the Raiders' lone senior, Carrie Bender, and that's coming up at the half. Now into this ball game. There's number 30, Aaron Partaker, a 5'10 swingman out of Glenview, Illinois for UIC. Galati inside the paint, no good. Loose ball picked up by Partaker.
Well, Shanda actually trying to do the right thing and getting her box out and trying to find the player. As she was trying to find her player to box her out, the ball had come right by her.
Westrom, 15 on the shot clock. Galati, Andrews has her. Now Partaker, give and go, goes underneath, and for Cook, no good. Actually, Cole, and now we'll kick it back out. Wenzel and home.
Good second effort by UIC, but Wright State has to make sure that they keep UIC at one attempt and out. Actually, Wright State is doing a nice job on the boards. They're out rebounding UIC 14-7 right now, but the other thing is Wright State has 7 offensive rebounds.
Regin answers back with a deuce of her own, 2-point ball game once again. Partaker with a bit of a skip to my Lou across the line.
Do you think that's a move they worked on in practice?
I'm not sure. Spin move, Westrom puts it up, no good. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by Williams. Well, you're a former coach. I don't think you teach that to your kids, right?
That might be a move that they'll have to name after her.
14 on the shot clock, 6 minutes to play, first half. Hollingsworth eyeing the three, goes underneath. Reggie Stewart triple team the kick out back to Hollingsworth. Now 5 on the shot clock. We'll have to think about a shot. Reggie drives, puts it up off glass, no good. Loose ball on the floor. Partaker saves it. Unbelievable.
She was dancing right on the line there. Little off balance, but she came up with the ball.
Westrom thought about the long distance three. Now go for Galati. Ten on the shot clock. Gets a screen. Now popping three, knock it down. Robin Rustro.
But you have to give her credit. Nice shooter. She's a pure shooter. And she's been hampered a little bit with some injuries over her career, but this year she's been fairly healthy. But she came off of that screen, a little bit of a screen, and just got her feet set and popped it right away.
Averaging just over 8 a ball game, gets her first tray. 23-18. Andrews, the kick out. Now on over for Hollingsworth, and we'll take it back up on top. Williams against the 2-3 zone. Pulls up in the paint with 1 on the shot clock, no good. And looks like they're going to get Janine Andrews on over the back.
Well, Amber tried to make some things happen. The shot clock was running down, tried to split the defense. But the thing about this 3-2 defense is the fact that it keeps the perimeter wide. And so you have to look to attack it from a little bit of 2 different ways. One is you have to have the ball movement around the perimeter. But what Wright State has done and has been effective is they have put a high post there. So when you put the ball at the high post, then you can look to attack inside because that's where it's going to be open.
Second personal on Janine. That's team foul number 6 for Wright State. Golowski. Bounce pass inside for Tam. In the low block and a foul.
Good defense by Amber Williams, really doing a nice job on the ball. The other area that's open is on the baseline against that zone. So if you can look to reverse the ball and swing it and park somebody down there from the low block extended or at the short corner, you can be very effective as well.
Pardon me for saying the foul. It was a 3-second call. Williams coming back up on top. Eight on the shot clock. This one deflected away and taken away. Here comes Tam going to the hoop, spins around on the low block and in.
I have to give credit to the official on that one. I thought it was a great no call. Amber Williams trying to get down in position to look to take the charge. Amber working a little bit on her acting right there, but you have to give her credit, and UIC coming down and able to finish.
Timeout on the floor, Flames by 7, and we'll be back in just a moment. Flames in a little bit of a run, a 5-0 run to be exact, as UIC leading this one by 7. It's 25-18. Going back to that last basket by Holly Tam, and some of you were alluding to prior to the break, that was a great non-call, and she did score very easily.
Well, you know, a lot of officials will look to make that call and will call the block, and it would have gone against Amber. But the thing is if it doesn't really impede the progress of the offensive player, a little bit of contact's made, and the offensive player still has control, the official, for the most part, will let it go. But sometimes you will find that the officials are a little quick on the trigger, and they will call that as a block. But I really thought it was a great no call.
I think this officiating crew is saying no harm, no foul. Literally. Baseline. Vandergeest pops. No good. Missed everything, and Cole comes down with it.
Well, and that's a credit to the crew because they want the players to play. They don't want to take anything away from the players, and so they're forcing them to play. And I think that's an outstanding job on the officials' part.
Amber Williams responds with a takeaway of her own. UIC in a 2-3. Williams in the paint, drives, and has her shot partially blocked and taken away.
You know, Jeff, I think if we talk any more about the officials, that people are going to think that they're paying us or something to say things about them. But I really do enjoy watching a game when it's so well officiated, and I really believe that this one is being well officiated tonight.
They go high-low for Galati. Double teamed on the low block. Goes strong off glass, no good. Gets the rebound, loose ball out on the floor, picked up by Cole. And she'll go, no good. This one out of bounds, and it'll still remain a UIC possession with 23 on the shot clock. You know, Toni, it's funny you mentioned Paola, and yet we're dealing with a team from Chicago.
That's right. That's right. But you know, this really will be the last thing I say about the officials, but it's just like a team. When you work together, you're a crew, so you have to work together. And these officials have worked together. They work a lot of different games together in different conferences, so they're used to each other, and you can really tell the difference.
Bilowski, bounce pass underneath, goes for Cole, double team, the kick out, back for Bilowski. 9 on the shot clock. We'll drop it out on the paint, it's out of bounds.
Well, 6 seconds on the shot clock, but Wright State doing a nice job getting their hands on the ball and creating the loose ball. Right now they want to make sure that they don't foul, look to contest the shot hard.
Inbound goes to Bilowski, 5 on the shot clock now. Going for Cole, pops, high post up, no good, and the rebound, Jess Vandergeest.
Good position on the backside boards by Jess, and that was a good contest there on that shot without fouling.
Raiders looking to dent the 7-point lead. Carrie Bender back into this ball game. And Bender will pop the 3, and no good. Everything but the basket. Galati the rebound.
Now just a little short on that one and wasn't able to get the fall.
They go high-low, contested, and taken away by Vandergeest. Quickly up ahead, 2-on-2. Regin Stewart goes low block, puts it up, no good, but the foul.
Well, if you're going to show younger kids how to play post defense, that's exactly how you want to do it. Jess Vandergeest doing an outstanding job of moving on the pass, getting over that high shoulder, and looking to get the steal. A lot of times what happens is on the entry pass into the post, you can see that either the post defense will stand right behind, or sometimes they go a little too late, and that's where they pick up the foul. And so it resulted in a nice drive, full court layup full court jump shot by Regin Stewart, able to draw the foul, and Regin really getting out and filling her lane very well.
Westrom picks up her first, that's the team's 8th. Regin makes her first, and she'll get them both. Substitution back into this ball game as Stephanie Jost will come on in for Galati. 5-point ball game, $1:54 left to go in this first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, noisemakers are prohibited in the Nutter Center. If you have a noisemaker, please do not use it. They are prohibited.
Amber Williams looking to pick up a little bit. Certainly this is a nice little matchup against Cole.
Cole taking it to the hoop, puts it up, and no good. Wave off any basket attempt, and the foul coming well before. It's going to be on Amber Williams. She'll pick up foul number 2, and that'll be the team's 7th.
Well, Cole had a nice hesitation with the going to the right and then coming back to the left, and got Amber a little bit off balance. It's a nice little crossover and coming back, and nice upper body control by Cole.
Cole to the line. Lenora Combs comes on in as Amber Williams will take a seat with 2 fouls. 1 in the bonus. And a brick off the back flange. Rebounded by Jess Vandergeest. Stewart goes inside. Looking for Combs. Takes it to the hoop. High off glass and in.
It's a good thing she took the ball off a little bit higher off that glass, because otherwise she wouldn't have made it. It was a great contest by UIC, but the other thing, she had a nice ball fake, almost a little rip-through move, and she went real hard to the basket.
Cole has this one taken away by Vandergeest. Quickly up ahead. Bender from 18. Pops the J. Too strong. Loose ball out on the floor. Picked up by Robin Restrom. Raiders have clawed their way back in here in the last minute and a half. They're down by 3, 25-22. Cole thought about popping the 3. Goes for Westrom. And they keep the reverse screens going. Cole in the paint, and no good.
Nice contest by Regin Stewart. It's fun to see these 2 athletes go head-to-head because they're just tremendous athletes.
Longsworth. Stewart now back up on top for Carrie Bender. Combs, bounce pass inside. Vandergeest high off glass, no good. Angela Wenzel gets the rebound.
Yeah, just doing a real nice job of sealing Stephanie Jost, and it was a nice feed inside. The perimeter players can look to get that ball into her a little bit sooner.
Grolowski looking for the final shot. The kick out. Wenzel, free throw line, and no good. Rebounded underneath by Stephanie Jost, but before she can get the shot off, this first half comes to a close. Your score at intermission, the UIC Flames leading this one in a slight upset so far, 25-22. Coming up here at the half, Toni Roesch will take you through intermission, and she'll talk with the Raiders' lone senior, Carrie Bender. And with that, we'll be back in just a moment.
We're at halftime at the Irvin J. Nutter Center, where Wright State is taking on the University of Illinois at Chicago, and we're joined by senior and the only senior, Carrie Bender. Carrie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Are you looking forward to today? I'm sure you have some mixed emotions. It's your last home game, and really it's pretty much a difficult situation in terms of leaving, because then you're looking at graduation and not really knowing what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, I do have mixed emotions today. I think most of all I'm going to miss my friends, my coaching staff. I'm going to miss playing here. But I'm excited about it today, and hopefully I do well.
Well, that's one of the advantages of playing on a team, is you're able to develop a lot of friendships, and I'm sure that you really have developed some very good friends.
Yeah, I do have quite a close few friends here, so I know I'm going to miss them.
What are some of your plans after college?
Well, afterwards, I'd like to go on and get my master's. My major right now is elementary ed, and possibly do a graduate assistantship somewhere around the surrounding area, or maybe somewhere in the MCC.
Elementary education must like to work with kids. Have you worked with kids during the summers or in any other time?
Well, with my major, you do a lot of phase work where you go into the classroom and you're with those little kids. So I really do enjoy little kids, and right now I'm in a second grade class.
Is teaching something that you think you might want to pursue?
Either that or be a housewife and have kids.
One way or another, you're going to have kids, huh?
Yep.
We'll see, if you coach, you might have 12 kids of your own then.
That's what I would like to do. Kind of coach, go on the road, come home, have my kids there, my husband there.
That would be nice. You know, you come in off the bench and you really add such a spark to the team. What do you think when you come in? Is it something that you want to do? You want to be a spark, or are you just kind of a role player and you're looking to do what Coach Fitch wants?
I'd like to think of myself as a role player, but kind of had that little spark when I do come in. Kind of, help to motivate the team maybe a little bit more. And I'm kind of cool and collected when I go in. Being a senior and everything, I'm just kind of, used to it. Go in, the pressures really don't bother you that much.
Well, that's one of the things that I've noticed this year, is the fact that when you come in, you are very steady. And with your team, you're fairly young, a little bit inexperienced, and they're really trying to implement Coach Fitch's philosophy. She's going into her second year, so you have a little bit of a young mix as well as with your experience, and I really think that you're adding a lot to the team.
Yeah, we do have a lot of young kids, and I know she's looking forward to the next year's coming up, so we're just going to work with what we have right now and, try to finish out the steady season, so hopefully it does well.
Well, that's one of the things that, you're certainly looking to prepare for the postseason. When you go into the conference tournament, anything can happen. So, and you guys really are beginning to play your best ball just as of yet.
And just like you said, anything can happen. That's what we're hoping, that we get into the tournament and that something does happen. We make it to the NCAA tournament.
You really are playing some very good basketball right now, your team, and you can see the growth throughout the season, and you're doing some very good things. The timing seems to be much better in your offense. Defensively, you're matching up a lot better. I really think that the development, you can really see the progress.
Yeah, there is progress, but we've also had some setbacks with Mandy being injured, and Amber's hurt her ankle, and Chana was sick the past couple games, so we're working with that, and yeah, we're still all coming together.
How much does adversity help you? Do you guys pull together as a team, or do sometimes you have a tendency to kind of get away from each other a little bit, or does everybody handle the frustration fairly well?
I think everyone pretty much does handle it better. A few of us are in different roles. Like, I even had to handle the ball more. It's different, but I think we're all learning to accept it, and I think everything's going pretty well so far.
One of the things that's so fun to watch is when you come off of a screen and you pop yourself out to the short corner right along the baseline there for that three-pointer, you can just see it in your eyes. You're ready to shoot the ball.
I'm always ready to shoot the three.
What is that? You got to shoot to get hot and get hot to stay hot?
That's right.
Well, are you looking forward to today's game? I mean, you've got to have some mixed emotions.
Yes, I am looking forward to the game. Being the last time I'll be in this Nutter Center, I hope there's a few more fans in here and that all of us play well. That's what I'm really hoping for, that everyone's consistent. And I hope to make, a couple threes here and there.
Well, I'm sure you'll be putting them up. And that's a good thing, though, because the team needs that. What are some of your thoughts? You have 2 other games remaining after this one. What are your thoughts going into the postseason tournament?
As far as like Cleveland State and Butler coming up, well, we'd like to have a few more victories in here. We know Butler's going to be one of our toughest teams yet. Cleveland State, we're really hoping that we can beat them, and I know we can if we all come together as a team. And we also have Detroit. It's always a tough one on the road, so we'll just see how it goes, and we'll plan and prepare for it.
Well, I'll tell you, I really think that you guys can do some very good things, and sometimes you guys almost have a tendency, you really control the tempo of the game in most games. It gets to some points where you really start to kind of play a little tentative, a little hesitant, and so sometimes you have a tendency to shoot yourselves in the foot. But the last game, that didn't happen, and I really think that you guys are making some great progress.
Right, at times, yeah, we do, like you said, shoot ourselves in the foot. And we do get nervous, and our coach does like to call us timeouts, pull us aside, and, individually tell us, Reg, settle down, Carrie, settle down, Shane will settle down. She just likes to get us all, settle down, so.
The potential's there, and you're going to have finish out the rest of your season very well, I'm sure. Like to wish you good luck. Thanks for joining us, and certainly with your team, good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
We're at intermission here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center, 25-22. A little bit of a surprise, Toni Roesch, that the UIC Flames, they came out strong with those threes in the first half, and now they're leading by that same score, by 3.
Well, they are, but you can't take a look at the standings by any means. What you have to take a look at is where the progress is going with the team. And Tim Eatman is going into this, had taken the program and pretty much is looking to completely turn things around. And like we had talked at the beginning of the game, he had an outstanding recruiting class. So he's going to look to make a lot of things happen. So if you take a look at the standings where UIC is right now at the bottom of the pack, you really can't look at that. You have to look at where they are and what they're doing. And they're looking to make some things happen, and that's certainly what they're trying to do tonight.
Of course, Wright State in a similar type of situation. They just came off a streak where they lost 6 in a row. They got the win in double overtime 2 nights ago, and you're hoping that it's the final home game of the year. It's senior day, if you will. You hope that you can make it 2 in a row.
Well, they definitely want to be able to do that. You want to be able to win your last home game, and certainly for Carrie Bender's standpoint, that would be nice. But at the same time, Wright State really hasn't seemed to get into the flow of things just as of yet, and so they really need to have a good second half because they can't allow UIC to hang around because UIC is not going to quit. They do a lot of good things. They push the ball up the floor. They're really looking to attack the basket. The majority of their shots are coming within the paint. They've only taken a few shots from the outside. And so what you have to make sure that you do is really look to pick things up and really establish the tempo early on in the game, defensively as well as offensively.
Well, this literally, as you saw, handed to us some of the first half numbers. And we'll start off here with UIC. They shot 36% from the field. They are 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, and they are 4 of 5 from the free throw line. They're playing pretty well.
Well, they really are. They're doing a lot of things fundamentally. Yeah, they are pushing the ball up the floor, but at the same time, they're really looking to put some pressure defensively, or making Wright State, I should say, play defense and putting a lot of pressure on them. So what they're really doing is playing a very controlled game because they're not going to get out of control. I know turnovers have been a concern for them. They have 11 turnovers right now at the half, but they want to be able to really take a look and take the shots when they want them, push the ball when they have it, and they don't want to really force anything.
Their team leader in scoring so far in this first half, Josie Cole with 9 points. She's been impressive.
Well, she really has. And running their offense, they're really looking to post her up inside. And she comes off that high post pick, or if she just kind of runs off of a little bit of a give and go, they're working the triangle down low. And so it's really making Amber Williams, as well as a couple of the other perimeter players, have to play some post defense. And they're not used to doing that. But the thing is with her is she's such a good athlete. She's so explosive that not only can she post up, but if she gets the ball out a little bit, she loves to penetrate and take the ball right to the basket.
Let's give you the scoring rundown for the rest of the Flames. 3 points for Robin Westrom, 7 points for Holly Tam, 2 points for Jamie Bulowski, and 4 points for Angela Wenzel to comprise their 25 in that first half. Looking on over to the home team, of course, Wright State, coming in with a record of 7 and 15 in this one. They are shooting 9 of 29 from the floor. That is 31%. 1 of 9 from behind the arc for 11%, and they are perfect from the charity stripe, 3 of 3. That's going to be the difference here. They've attempted 9 shots from behind the arc and have only been able to complete 1.
Well, but you have to figure, Carrie Bender hasn't really gotten hot, and Chanda certainly hasn't gotten hot. Chanda's only has taken 1 attempt from there. So you have to make sure, or take a look at the fact that she's going to make sure that she's going to be connecting on those shots. So you just give her a couple of opportunities, and she's going to start knocking some of them down.
On the plus side for Wright State, they are led in scoring. A game-high 9 points for Lenora Combs. She was hot evidently from the get-go.
Well, she really was, and part of that is her positioning on the rebound. She came up with a couple very nice rebounds and doing a nice job on the boards, especially on the offensive end, and tracking down some loose balls. And she was doing a nice job of posting up. And perimeter players, you have to give them credit. They were seeing her inside.
Looking at the rest of the scoring lineup here for Wright State, 4 points for Regent Stewart, 2 for Jess Vandergeest, 3 for Amber Williams, and also to wrap it up, 4 points by Janine Andrews, who's in the last couple of games have done an admirable job, especially coming off of the bench.
I've been really impressed with her progress, and she's really being much more assertive offensively, taking the shots from the free throw line as well as the elbow. And certainly, if you take a look at her game the other night, she was looking to put the ball on the floor and go to the basket. Those are some things that the people coming in off the bench need to be able to do. In order for this team to continue to make the progress and continue to flow, you have to have more people contributing, and bench points are crucial.
This is, of course, senior day, so the final home game here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center. After this, there'll be 3 on the road starting next week at Butler. And then, of course, going into next month from the 4th through the 6th, well, that'll be the Midwestern Collegiate Championship. And that'll be on over at Cleveland. While we have a few seconds, what do you see, especially as keys to the second half?
Well, Wright State has to pick up the tempo a little bit. I really believe that they can look to push the ball up the floor in the transition offense. Now, pushing the ball up the floor doesn't always mean that you're going to be taking every shot when you come down the floor. But what you're doing is you're putting the pressure on the defense to make sure that they get back. You can take a look at your numbers and attack. The other thing is they need to continue to attack in that high-low look, reversing the ball, looking to get the ball inside, and really put some pressure on UIC. The other thing is defensively, they have to keep UIC at 1 opportunity and out.
Final 20 minutes coming on up in this one, as we had mentioned before, and very often, Wright State down by a margin of 3. It's 25-22 as we enter this second half. UIC will get the ball on the outset. Right in front of us is Holly Tam. And it'll go to Cole, and we're back underway.
Well, Tam's been a little quiet tonight. She only has 2 points, but you have to give credit to the defense. And Regin's really been doing a nice job on her.
Tam has it blocked from behind from Jess. Tam just avoided a cheap foul, and here comes Wright State on 0.
Well, that's how she got her first foul, was a little cheap one. Pushing Carrie Bender over to the sideline.
Sure. Down underneath, Jess Vandergeest goes glass too strong.
Well, that's what they need to continue to do. Just not able to get the shot to fall, but they can get the ball inside, and that's where one of the weaknesses is. You look at the high post, and if you can get that ball inside, you've got a one-on-one inside on the low block.
Josie Cole at the point. And a deep water 3 is on the way. No good for Robin Rustrup.
Well, she's very capable of knocking those down, and she just was a little out of her range, and she needed to use her legs a little bit more. But once again, Wright State leaving UIC at 1 opportunity and out.
I think she was halfway to Columbus as far as where she took that shot. They go high-low, Lenora Combs. The kick out, Chanda thinking about the 3, 10 on the shot clock, goes for Williams. Now she'll go head of the key, 3, knock it down, and we're tied at 25.
Well, so that's just what we were talking about. She had taken a couple shots in the first half, wasn't able to get those to fall, and she's such a nice player that you know it's just a matter of time before she gets those to fall.
18:33 left to play in this ball game. They go with Cole posting up, and a shot no good, but a foul.
Well, Amber looking to reach a little bit right there, but I have to give credit from the standpoint that she made the adjustment in playing Cole. Cole went to turn the corner. Amber sitting down, playing very good defensive positioning, but she ended up reaching. You can see Amber going right there, doing a nice job, cutting off the drive, going straight up, but right there she reaches and gets her on her arm. Had she not reached, that would have been very good positioning.
First one no good for Josie Cole. So Amber picks up her third. That's the team's first of this half. She'll take a seat as Carrie Bender, the senior, the lone senior on the squad, comes back on in.
Carrie really is such a nice spark coming in, and I know the coaching staff has been very pleased with her, just saying that she's certainly a pleasure to coach, and if you can have all your players like that, that makes life a lot easier.
No good. Cole gets neither, so rebounded by Combs, and here comes Wright State looking to take a lead. 3, Lenora Combs, no good. It's on the floor and taken away by UIC.
It's not a bad look, but at the same time, Jess and Regin did a great job of going in there for the offensive boards.
Sam puts it on the floor, guarded by Stewart. Bounce pass inside to Cole, looking to post up, double team, goes glass, no good. And Regin Stewart comes down with the ball.
I really like how Lenora Combs is playing. She came over and looked to give help side defense on Cole, at the same time coming down with the rebound.
Jess misses one underneath. We have a jump ball. Nice defense by Jess as she tied up Stephanie Jost right underneath the basket. Jamie Bielowski, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just getting a little frustrated right now, not able to get some of her shots to fall. She needs to be able to connect on some of those, and she will. The more she touches the ball, the more she's going to be putting in.
Cole comes out, Jamie Bielowski, the first player off the bench for UIC in the second half, and a foul.
Nice cut by Jess. That was a good feed inside by Regin, and Jess really looking to go strong and able to draw the foul right there. This will be good for her to be able to knock down these 2 free throws.
Holly Tam picks up her third. That's the team's first. Team fouls are even with 17:46 remaining in this ball game. 2-shot foul for Jess Vandergeest. And she'll unbreak the tie. Jess, 73% shooter from the charity stripe this year.
Well, she's so steady, as well as Carrie. I really enjoy watching these two play because they're great leaders and very, very mature.
2-point lead. Rulowski, Hollingsworth on her. Kick on out, Westrom, Rulowski. Look down low, Galati goes glass, and we're tied back at 27.
Well, Galati was able to get Jess on her back, and Shannon coming over a little bit late with the help side defense.
Galati averaging just under 4 ball game, gets her first deuce. 17-13 left to play in this one. Bender. Now going to the corner. Vandergeest, entry pass, goes for Lenora Combs, and she answers back with a deuce.
Well, nice little hook there for Lenora, and she was able to get Galati right on her back, and Lenora did a nice job of really just turning her shoulder, and a nice little hook.
Steal. Shannon Hollingsworth came away with that one clean. Regin Stewart, no good. Ball last touched out of bounds by UIC.
Regin looking to force that just a little bit too much. Sometimes you get a little too anxious, you try to make some things happen, but the other thing that is really good that's happening right now is the fact that Wright State is crashing the offensive boards.
Cole and Wenzel back into this ball game for UIC. Raiders by 2. Bender way up high. And give back. Jess has her shot partially blocked by Jost, and here comes UIC. Burlowski on the break, and should hold up shot.
Nice transition defense by Wright State, getting back. Number 1 stopping the ball, number 2 getting back in the paint.
Cole's 3 attempts short. The stick back attempt up, no good. Ball's on the floor. Regin Stewart picks it up.
Good effort by Wright State.
Oh, going ahead. Lenora Combs, low block in it.
Well, that's just what they need to do, and really where they're making such a difference is on the boards. They came down, they had a nice contest at the defensive end, and they came down with the rebound, then pushing the ball up the floor. And just as we have been talking, they've been doing a very nice job on the offensive boards as well.
Timeout charge to UIC, and with that, we'll take a break too. 31-27. We'll be back in just a moment. Pulaski up on top. 19 on the shot clock. Going for Tam. Low block. Double team. Pulls it up. No good. The takeaway and a foul.
Great positioning by Wright State defensively. Good help side defense. Lenora Combs coming over and stopping the penetration of Tam. They know that Tam can do some damage. But good on-ball defense as well as coming over and giving nice help.
Should have a replay coming on up as Wenzel picks up her second. There it is.
Well, right there, Ham looking to take just to the basket, but give credit to Lenora right there, giving her something else to think about. Nice little block.
Wright State wrapping up their home season with this one against UIC. They have come on strong here in the second half. They have scored 9 points here in the first, before the first timeout here. Going on not much of a run, but, well, you'll take it. 9-2 over UIC to take the 4-point lead.
Well, the first 3 to 4 minutes of the start of the second half is so crucial because it was even in, well, actually, Wright State was down a little bit at the half, but you want to take a look at those first few minutes to really establish the tempo of the game. Get yourself back into the game and take control of it, and then you can run things however you want to run them instead of playing catch-up.
Both teams getting set to get back on the floor. Wright State will wrap up the season, the regular season that is, with 3 on the road. That's coming up next week, starting with one over at the Hinkle Fieldhouse against the Butler Bulldogs. And they'll go on to Cleveland State and Detroit to wrap up the regular season. Then starting on the 4th, it'll be the Midwestern Collegiate Conference Championships, and that'll be up at Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland State will obviously host this one this year. The inbound will come from Vandergeest. Hollingsworth. Double teamed. Wright State looking to get up ahead. Still having a hard time. Now we'll finally get it across to Vandergeest. UIC in a 2-3. 10 on the shot clock. Janine Andrews into this ball game now. Vandergeest, low block, goes glass, and no good. Volleyball match, it's on the floor, picked up by Stephanie Jost.
Just not able to get that shot to fall, but she had a nice ball fake and looked to go strong to the basket, just a little too hard off that glass.
Berlowski. Now for Tam. Team's leading scorer and rebounder with 16 a ball game in points and just over 5 a ball game in boards. The kick out, Cole. With 2 on the shot clock, it's off the front of the rim. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by Shanda Hollingsworth.
UIC having a little difficult time getting in their half-court offense, but partly due to Wright State's defense. Wright State being in the right place at the right time. You have to make your breaks, and that's what Wright State is looking to do right now.
Andrews up on top, along with Hollingsworth. 10 on the shot clock. Going, high post. Now the kick out. Hollingsworth for 3 and too strong. Ball looked a little flat. Wenzel with the rebound. Quickly, they look to run. Tam, oh, a nice move in the post, no good. And Lenore Combs comes down with the board.
Well, that's a nice little break for Wright State. That's a little uncharacteristic missed shot of Tam as well.
Well, after the low post play that we saw on the opposite end back in the first half, you'd think she would have connected on that one. Hollingsworth. Back up on top, Combs. Open 3 and too strong. Loose ball, it's on the floor. Last touch by Janine Andrews, and we'll head the other way.
With nobody picking up Lenore. That's one of the things, when you get the ball moving against that zone and you keep it moving, it opens up a lot of things. Sometimes if the offense is not patient and you take your time in being very slow in your passes, it doesn't move the defense. As well, if you're very quick on those shots, you're really forcing some things. And so if you just take your time, and those shots that are open, they'll be open later on once the possession clock starts to run down a little bit.
Tam's 3 falls on home. Her second tray of the afternoon, 31-30. Pressure on the inbound. Stewart looking to run. Gets across the timeline, loses the handle, gets it back outside.
Well, that's just what she needed to do. Push the ball up the floor, didn't have the numbers, bring it back out and set your offense.
Andrews, the Combs. Low block. And home. Combs really feeling it tonight.
Well, she is, but that's the other thing is what I really like about this offense is the fact that they're parking somebody right there at the high post, and that's what you need to do against this 3-2 defense. And so when you do that, you're isolating one-on-one inside, and so you have Lenore that's capable of going one-on-one, you have Reggie that's capable, as well as Jess. And certainly Janine's playing a little bit more at the high post and having some good feeds inside, but she too is very capable of some very, very good post moves inside. But the other thing that Janine is doing is she's taking those shots from the free throw line, so that's adding another threat.
Galati comes on out as Stephanie Chose comes back on in. Amber Williams back in for Wright State as Carrie Bender will take a seat. Fresh 30 on the kick ball by Lenora Combs. They go high-low. Wenzel puts it up and no good, but the foul.
Well, UIC is trying to go inside as well, and that's they really weren't too comfortable with their perimeter shooting. They have been a little off as of late concerning the coaching staff, and so certainly they're going to be looking to go inside. It was a nice feed inside, and Tam with a nice little drop step move, looking almost a little power mid move. Power mid is when you go to the middle and you come back and step to the baseline, and she had a real nice strong move going to the basket.
Wenzel at the line. Foul was picked up by Lenore Combs. That's her second personal. 1 of 2 for Wenzel. She is 5. Once again, pressure on the inbound. Shanda trapped on the baseline. We'll get it to Stewart. Up ahead. Wright State with some numbers. Williams, Combs, high post, and in.
Very good execution. The thing that really made that work is the fact that they had all 3 lanes filled in their transition offense. Amber was bringing the ball down on the right side, Lenora filling the middle, and they had the left lane covered, and that's how you execute going in against a transition defense or a full court zone.
High-low, Wenzel in the paint and in. No, wave off the basket. Fouls on Lenora Combs. Foul coming before the shot. Combs will pick up her third. That's the team's third of the half. And with that, we have a timeout on the floor. So with 11:50 left in play here in this ball game, Raiders by 4. We'll be back in just a moment. With 11:50 remaining in this ball game, Raiders by 4. It's 35-31. Lenora Combs continuing her hot hitting from anywhere on the floor, really. 17 points for her.
Yeah, she came ready to play tonight, but the other thing is UIC hasn't really defended her. She is being very effective in the low post, but you bring her out to around the three-point line, and because of the ball movement of Wright State and the way they're positioning themselves, they have somebody at the high post, they're swinging the ball extremely well. Nobody has been picking her up. So certainly she's very capable of scoring from that three-point line, and she's putting the ball up.
She'll get a seat on the bench. Jess Vanderbeest back into this ball game. And they answer underneath. Wenzel scores from underneath the basket, and it's 35-33.
Wenzel with a real hard cut to the basket, and Jess not quite matching up with her. She got a little caught up with her feet, and so Wenzel was able to get the step on her.
2-point ball game. Bender, head of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Going with Williams, down on the low block, and we'll have to kick it out back up on top. Bender, open three, too strong. Off the front of the rim, actually, on the line drive. Tam looking to run. Now we'll hold up shop. Hard pass inside for Cole. It's on the floor, and Bender gets it.
Good hustle by Wright State. Amber really defending that pretty well, and actually Carrie getting her hands on it also.
Looked like an unnecessarily tough pass to be throwing to Cole underneath the basket, too.
Well, she was still on the run. That's where timing is so crucial. You want to make sure that you time it so that as they come across, they're posting up. If you give it to them too soon, then they mishandle it. Or if you give it to them too late, the defense has already recovered.
Regan Stewart loses the handle on the ball on the high block, so UIC will take on over with an opportunity to tie. Token pressure being applied by Carrie Bender, and now she'll come on out. Orlowski with the ball. 10:38 remaining in this one. Screen put on by Wenzel. Now the give off to Cole. Dumps down underneath and stolen away by Vandergeest.
Timing off a little bit with UIC's offense, but you have to give credit to Wright State right there in good help position.
Pass looked a little telegraphed, if you will. Regent penetrating, puts it up, off glass and home.
There, she was able to knock that one down. Nice little head fake, little ball fake, and was able to just take it right off the glass.
Doesn't have the 20-point night that she did 2 nights ago, but she has 6 right now, and her team in the lead by 4.
Well, that's where you have to figure. Jess hasn't gotten on track. Regin really hasn't gotten on track, and it's a 4-point game right now, and that's where you start getting a few other people contributing a little bit. In addition to the ones you already have, Wright State can really look to run away a little bit with this game.
Holly Tam, foul by her opposite number. Regin Stewart, she'll pick up her second.
Yeah, but I will say Wright State is, really doing a nice job right now. And Regin Stewart recovering right there on the penetration. Just needs to step back a little bit, but Wright State really, they could pull away with this game a little bit, but you have to give credit to UIC from the standpoint that they're not going to quit. They have some very good athletes, and they're not going to just roll over and let Wright State take things away, because you got Coach Eatman over there. He is going at it and teaching these kids as hard as he can.
Cam gets them both. They'll go to Cole and stolen away.
Well, the other thing is, if you want to pull away, if you're Wright State, you want to pull away, you can't have any more unforced turnovers. They need to take care of the basketball.
Foul coming underneath the basket on the shot attempt. Wright State will take on over. An offensive foul against UIC. It's on Jost. She'll pick up her 3rd personal. That's the team's 3rd.
They just need a little bit more leadership, and Amber actually has been doing a very nice job at the point position, but she's been a little quiet tonight. I can't help to think that some of it isn't due to her ankle.
2-3 zone setup for UIC. Ball working its way around to Regin Stewart. And a foul that's going to be on Westrom. Robin will pick up her second. That's the team's 4th.
Regin looking to take it right at the defense, and hey, certainly put the pressure on him. Make the defense have to play.
Maria Galati back into this ball game, the 6-foot senior out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. I've been waiting to say that all afternoon.
That's a mouthful, Jeff.
Full compliment on the shot clock.
Actually,
high post, the kick out. Bender, 3 on a way, knock it down!
There she goes. She was able to get her feet set. Just needed a couple of opportunities to knock one of those down.
40-35, under 9 minutes left to play in this ball game. She had that big 3 in the second overtime 2 nights ago against Loyola, set the tone and led them to that 5-point win. Tam, bounce pass underneath, deflected out of bounds.
Just getting around over the high shoulder on that pass, and you have to give credit to Cole because she was trying to get it inside. Just because of just hard defense, they weren't able to connect on the pass. But the other thing is Janine Andrews was right there in help position as well. So very good defense by Wright State right now. And the other thing is they're keeping UIC at 1 and out.
Vandergeest for Williams. Getting around the arc. Now going for Regin. In the paint. High off glass and home.
That's what I said earlier. You got to make your breaks. And certainly when you're working hard, you get a little luck rolling your way. But sometimes you get people sitting back saying, well, I can't make anything happen and things aren't rolling my way. Well, you have to make those things. And that's sometimes when you get those lucky shots like that.
Foul. Going back to the last shot by Regin Stewart, the only thing pretty about that basket was it actually went on in.
Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and she had already committed herself, so she needed to put that shot up.
Amber will come out of this ball game. Janine Andrews on in there for Wright State. Tam, now Cole. Wenzel has it poked away by Vandergeest, picks it back on up. Can't penetrate though. Westrom thinking about the deep water three, and here it goes, and it's too long. Jess picks up the rebound.
Jess playing very hard right now. It was great positioning on ball defense by Jess.
Bender, another three, knock it down!
She's got to be feeling good right now. You know, she's got 7.5 minutes to go, and this is her last game right here in the Nutter Center, so she's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
10-point lead for Wright State, their biggest all afternoon, 45-35. We have 7:16 left in this one.
What better way to go out than on a real strong positive note.
Wenzel for Tam. Pops the three, and he'll fall on home.
She was able to get the roll on that one. That hit the back of the rim and rolled in.
Second time we saw that today. And a timeout on the floor. With 7 minutes exactly left in this ball game, the Raiders by 7. We'll be back in just a moment. (45-38), and thanks to some late threes by Carrie Bender, Wright State showing signs of trying to pull away from this one.
Well, they sure are, and you can just see the momentum starting to pick up a little bit more excitement. You can see a little energy, a little pep in their step right now, and really looking to make some things happen by pushing the ball up the floor, and certainly defensively, they're moving extremely well right now. Good pressure on the ball. Jess Vandergeest has had some very good stops, and nice help side position by Lenora Combs and Janine Andrews, and just really doing some nice things right now. They just need to make sure that they don't kick themselves in the foot and turn the ball over with some unforced turnovers.
Carrie Bender, the all-time leader in 3 points attempted here at Wright State with 415 plus. She had 415 coming into this ball game, and now with the 2 trays this afternoon, she has 114. That's good for second all-time in the school history. Combs underneath the basket, has her shot blocked, gets it back, and will kick it back out. Oh, Hollingsworth open three, and it's off the side of the rim. Westrom the rebound.
Well, if you're UIC, you have to make sure that Shanda doesn't get on a roll either.
This one poked away, however, picked back up. Tam looking to drive, pulls it on up, kicks it on out, gets it back.
No, because the other thing you have to take a look at it, you got Chanda that's scoring, and then if you have Carrie Bender hitting her threes as well, UIC would have to look to come out of that zone defense.
Touch foul by Jess Vandergeest. That's her first personal, team's 6th.
But really, that's what you want. When you're going up against that zone, you need to be able to hit from the outside to open things up on the inside. But Wright State really, for the most part, has been able to get the shots that they've wanted.
Cole up on top. Full complement on the shot clock. Jost. And a foul.
Well, they're going to get Angela Wenzel for a moving screen right there and just trying to get over that screen.
She'll pick up her 3rd. That's the team's 5th. So Wright State will take on over. 6:08 left to go in this one. Up by 7. Shanda going high post. Now head of the key with Vandergeest. Kicks it on out, Bender. Andrews going back to Hollingsworth. 8 on the shot clock. Bender has her shot blocked, and no, a jump ball.
Well, they really didn't have much choice on that. Shot clock was getting down. They looked to run a little 2-man game over there and not really having a good look, but you have to give credit to UIC's defense.
5 on the floor for Wright State. Bender, Hollingsworth, Regin Stewart, Jess Vandergeest, and Lenora Combs. Cole, as Bender has the defensive assignment on her. Coming ahead of the key. Going for Wenzel, high post, and knocked away. Cole recovers, goes into the paint. Little runner, goes glass and home, count it.
Well, that's where she's so explosive. She had little hesitation, good, strong, quick first step coming off that hesitation, going right to the basket. Was able to draw the foul as well, keeping some very good upper body control to finish on the shot.
Shanda Hollingsworth will pick up her second.
Oh, you can see Cole right there. She's coming around. Nice job with the upper body control, and she was able to pick up the foul there. But you know, the thing is when you can tell a very good athlete is the fact that you can see that they keep their concentration, they have good control, and that they don't allow the bumps to take them out of their move to the basket.
Cole completes the three-point play. 4-point ball game for Wright State. You know, as far as Cole's concerned, good things seem to come in three. She had a three-pointer early on and then a couple old-fashioned ones here in this ball game. Vandergeest fouled on the way to the hoop.
Just doing a good job keeping her head down, keeping her shoulder down, protecting the ball from the defense. Nice little fake there. She was able to draw the foul.
Angela Wenzel will pick up yet another foul. That's now her 4th personal and the team's 6th. So Jess will head to the line. 2-shot foul.
Oh, you're talking about the old-fashioned three, as you call it, Jeff. The thing is good athletes and good players make things happen, and they don't sit back and they don't wait for the game to come to them. They look to make some things happen without forcing it, and then everything else seems to fall into place.
The junior from Merrill, Wisconsin gets them both. Williams back into this ballgame as Bender will get a seat on the bench. Westrom will come back on in, and coming back into this ballgame for the first time this half is Aaron Partaker. She'll get the inbounding assignment. Raiders up by 6.
Well, Partaker, she's a senior, the 5'10" senior, and averaging just a little under 5 points a game.
Westrom back up on top. Tam thinking about 3. Going with Brolowski. Goes inside for Cole. Goes glass and a nifty move for Josie Cole. And a timeout charge to UIC.
Well, you have to take a look at Amber. Once Cole got the ball, Amber stood up and bellied up right away to Cole. But the thing is Cole's going to go right around you. Had Amber sat down in her stance to wait and see what Cole was going to do, knowing that she probably was going to go to the basket, then she's able to contest the shot and move her feet and go straight up. But you can see right there she bellies up and not moving her feet, so Cole was able to go right around her, go strong to the basket. Amber sits down in her stance. She's able to slide along with her, cut that drive off, and make her pull up for a jumper. Then you're able to contest the shot.
4-point ball game for Wright State. It's 47-43. Unlike the game that we saw 2 nights ago, Toni, it's been quite a defensive matchup, actually.
Well, it sure has. Both teams not real high scores. They don't take a whole lot of shots, but actually Wright State having almost 100 more shots than UIC. But you have to take a look at from the standpoint that both teams playing some very good defense, but you have UIC sitting back in that 3-2 zone.
Vandergeest tied up by Tam. However, Wright State will retain possession on alternates. .438 remaining. And the ball goes to Hollingsworth.
I'm sorry, Jeff. You know, to go back to the defensive standpoint, what you want to do is you want to keep the other team guessing, so you don't want to commit yourself too soon.
Out of bounds. And UIC will take over. Last touch by Lenore Combs, trying to get the stick back.
Playing substitution, number 23, and number 30, Partaker.
Coach Tim Eatman freely substituting now for UIC. Partaker will get to inbound, and she'll do so to Brolowski.
Brolowski has never missed a game in her career. She's on her 106th game.
Call that reliability. Cole to the hoop, and in, count it. No, wave off the basket. No, they will count it. No, now they'll call it a charge.
Looks like Coach Eatman's doing a little substitution, offense and defense. He's bringing the players in and out. So you can see Cole going right down, pushing that elbow right there. She had her head down.
So in any case, the offensive foul against Cole. She'll pick up her 2nd personal. That's the team's 7th.
Well, anytime you look to dip that shoulder, if that elbow comes out, you got to figure that the official's going to call it. You can't dip and look to push off a little bit.
Williams in a bit of trouble, and it's stolen away. Jost now for Cole. Gets a screen, goes baseline, drives, and she's fouled on the way to the hoop by Regin Stewart.
Well, that's a good foul by Regin. But the other thing is, Wright State has to be careful. UIC is looking to pull everybody out and allowing Cole to make a penetration going one-on-one, and it's drawing the help side defense away from there. Nice pick by UIC, and you can see Cole was able to turn the corner. Nobody's around in help side. It was a total clear out. So Wright State has to read that and make sure that they're sliding down for the help defense, because Cole's very capable of doing some serious damage.
Timeout on the floor with 4 minutes exactly left to go in this one. The Raiders lead it 47-43. This one being played tighter than I think Wright State would like it. They've led by as many as 10 in this ball game, and now all of a sudden the Flames come scratching back into this one.
Well, that's just it. They are scratching back. They're not quitting. They want to win. Coach Eatman is over there. He is really working the sidelines, doing a lot of offensive, defensive rotations to try and make some things happen for the team. You've got Cole that's really on fire right now. So Wright State has to make sure that they don't have any unforced turnovers. They keep UIC at one basket or one opportunity and out, then come down on the offensive end and continue to attack. UIC is picking up in their full court diamond, looking to get some traps. So you have to have a very quick ball reversal, get the ball in the middle, then just beat the ball down the floor.
Josie Cole taking over these last couple of minutes, much like she did in the first half in the opening minutes of the ball game. 70.5% shooter from the charity stripe. And we'll get them both.
But see, you have to take a look. Coach Eatman's making some of those calls, and he's clearing everybody out so that Cole can go one-on-one, so she has some room to work.
Combs on the baseline, stuck there, and we'll give it back on out.
Good decision by Lenore to bring the ball back out.
Stewart. Combs thinking about the long-range jumper. Now we'll give it back out. Hollingsworth with the ball, 8 on the shot clock. Getting a screen, now we'll kick it on over to Williams. Looking to drive, in the paint, running hook shot, puts up, no good. Stick back, Lenore Combs, no good. Ball's out on the floor, out of bounds. Last touch by UIC.
Amber Williams coming off of Shanda's screen down on the baseline and doing a nice job of making the penetration into the lane. Wasn't able to get the ball to fall, but right there you have Lenora Combs on the help side or backside rebound.
We're at the under 4. Raiders and a nail biter by 2. We'll be back in just a moment. Two-point ball game as we're coming down to the wire on this one. Final home game of the year for Wright State. It's senior day as they honored Carrie Bender earlier this afternoon, and they wanna give her some props getting on out of this one. In fact, she had 2 late threes, and that's kind of held them in check with the two-point lead.
Well, those were some huge threes. The other thing that Wright State is doing fairly well right now is their shot selection is pretty good, so they need to make sure that they continue to attack the basket. But they definitely have to make sure that they break this full court pressure and don't allow UIC to get them in any traps.
The inbound will come from Vandergeest. Full compliment on the shot clock. It'll go to Williams. Vandergeest. Williams. 2-3 zone pressure. Stewart pulls it up, low block, no good, but a foul.
Good ball movement and very good patience by Wright State, looking to take a good shot. Regin with a nice little ball fake and looking to make that penetration. And Lenora needs to square up a little bit though when she gets that ball at the high post. She got the ball and she didn't really want to take a good look at the basket, but she needs to.
Fouls on Maria Galati. That's her first personal. 2-point ball game. Regin at the line, and of course every score now from here on out is going to be big, and this one a brick off the back. Regin, a 70.5% shooter from the charity stripe this year. She's coming on here in the second half with 8 points.
Well, this is where you have to play to win and not play to lose. Wright State has to make sure that they believe in the back of their minds that they're going to win this game.
1 of 2.
Because the other alternative is you can sit back and say, well, what if we lose? Well, you don't want to do that. You're playing for confidence. You're playing really to position yourself better in the conference tournament. So, as well, you certainly want to win your last game at home.
Wright State, the 7th-ranked team in the conference. UIC, the 8th. Berlowski up on top. 10 on the shot clock. Bounce pass inside. They go for Tam. Goes glass at home. Count it.
Well, Tam was able to get the inside position on Regin Stewart.
Regin will pick up her 4th. Tam will head to the line to try and complete the old-fashioned 3. She's been kind of everywhere this afternoon. She had a couple of three-pointers that just kind of bounced on in, and now she'll get a bonus opportunity here.
Well, good players don't die and they don't quit, and that's where you have to give Tam credit, because she didn't have an outstanding first half. I believe only having 2 points the first half, but really has come on strong late in the second half.
Pressure broken. Williams in a hurry for Hollingsworth, out of bounds, and UIC will take on over. We're tied at 48. We have 2:35 remaining to go here in this one.
Well, that's what you want to do. You want to push the ball up the court, but at the same time, don't look to force anything. If you have a 3-on-2 break, execute it, but you don't need to get too quick with the handles or too quick on the passes. Make it happen. Have the confidence when you're coming down to the floor.
Well, we'll go to Galati. Vandergeest, the defensive assignment on her, playing tough. Goes for Jost. In the corner. Cole in the paint. Now double teamed. And it's on the floor and a tie-up. Jess Vandergeest came on in to help out Amber Williams in the tie-up.
Well, Jess can actually come down a little bit more and not allow Cole to turn her shoulders, because you got Galati, who's a little bit out on the elbow, a little bit out of her range. So Jess can really look to take some gambles on her. You know, you've got Cole coming in, going one-on-one with Amber, and she's so athletic that, you know, and Amber is athletic as well, but you don't want a one-on-one in the post. Come down, double team them, get the trap, force them to kick the ball back outside. They want to score. They inside the paint. They want to get around 4 or 5 feet from the basket. Make them shoot the 15-footer.
Angela Wenzel back into this ball game for the Flames as Maria Galati comes on out. 20 called by Wright State, by Lisa Fitch and her crew. Want to talk things on over. They've kind of let this one get by. They had a 10-point lead just a few minutes ago, and all of a sudden UIC roaring on back.
Well, they're keep fighting and keep scrapping, and at the same time, Wright State has had a couple of unforced turnovers, but the other ones that we were talking about, make them shoot from the outside. You don't want Tam or you don't want Westrom to shoot from the outside, because they're pure shooters and scorers.
Speaking of Tam, she'll throw it up at the shot clock, and no good, but a foul.
That was a huge possession there by Wright State. I don't think UIC was really fully aware how much time was left on the clock, but Lenore once again with a great positioning on the box out.
Jost will pick up her 4th personal. And she was in extracurriculars, as it were, with Lenora Combs.
Well, these are big free throws for Lenora. This is where she has to make sure she uses her legs and has a nice follow-through on that shot.
70% from the charity stripe on the front end of 1-and-1, and no good. Rebounded by Tam. Both teams at 9 fouls.
This is what makes coaching so interesting.
Jost. Now the kick out to Cole. Thought about the long range shot. Now we'll go paint side and home.
Once again, Cole making that penetration, going strong to the basket. You really have to look to keep the ball out of her hands.
18 for Cole. Regin Stewart gets by. Into the front court now for Hollingsworth. Raiders down by 2. We have a $1:25 remaining in this one. Combs to give back. Amber Williams. Now a screen set. Amber into the paint. Throws up a shot off the front of the rim. Gets the rebound. Throws it back up. No good, but a foul.
Well, good second effort with her coming down with the rebound. But hey, sometimes you don't want to force things. You need to read the gaps and read the seams, and certainly read the defense. And if she's looking to make the penetration, you have to have some other players moving so she can get the kick out. Looking to take it. That was a good contest right there by Jost, but a little long rebound, and she was able to come up with it. You have to give her credit going hard to the basket and drawing the foul.
They call the foul on Tam, and the first one home for Amber Williams. She made a living on the line 2 nights ago, had 9 of 13 from the charity stripe, en route to her 17 points.
They had made the comment about this is what makes things interesting for the coach, but actually this is what drives coaches nuts. They look calm on the outside, but inside their nerves are going crazy.
Tam. With Brolowski in front of her. coming to the near side. We're under a minute left to play in this one. Grolowski in the paint. Feeds underneath. Cole, and she is fouled.
Well, that was a good foul. Amber's doing a pretty good job of not allowing Cole to get the ball. They have to make sure that they keep her from getting the ball because, again, they're posting her up. And anytime she touches it, she's dangerous, either from the perimeter or from down on the low block. Grolowski with the penetration, little wraparound pass there and going over to Cole. But anytime you can keep Cole from getting the basket, the better off Wright State's going to be.
Cole, or rather Combs, picks up her fourth. Now UIC in the double bonus. 2-shot opportunity here anyways on the shooting foul.
Well, if she doesn't touch the ball, she's not dangerous. So that's where if Amber can really do a nice job of denying her the ball and not letting her have it, it's really putting some pressure on the other players of UIC to have to perform.
Cole gets 1 of 2, 1-point lead. Coming upon 45 seconds left to play in this one.
Well, they don't need to force anything right now. They can look to get the ball inside, attack the basket. They don't need any quick shots, but again, they have to attack.
Holmes has had the hot hand this afternoon. You would imagine they'd get it to her. Regin going on over for Vandergeest. High post, the kick out. Shanda Hollingsworth now on over near side. Regin Stewart, 5 on the shot clock. Regin will pull up in the paint, too strong, and the rebound to Holly Tam, and she's fouled by Stewart. 19.9 seconds remaining in this one, and much like the Van Halen album, it's 51-50.
Well, that's good look by Regin to make that penetration, but you have some other players that are a little tentative right now. Just a little tentative on her shot, and she had popped to the short corner. Look to post her up. But the other thing is if you have to bring the ball out and reset it, you reset it, again looking to attack the basket.
Regin will foul out of this ball game with 9 points. 19.9 seconds remaining in this one. We saw a nail biter 2 nights ago, and of course this one has much of the same aspects to it, but the other side of it, though, is Wright State is in the position where they're behind and looking to catch up.
Well, they are, but these free throws are crucial for UIC, but there's still plenty of time left on the clock. You have 20 seconds, and that's a lot of time, and a lot of things can happen.
2-shot foul. Holly Tam at the line. Good things have come in threes for her, and she is solid on the first. Prior to that free throw, she had 3 3-pointers, 3 other field goals, and 3 free throws. Go figure.
She looks to make things happen. That's why she's considered their go-to player.
1 of 2. Rebounded by Vandergeest. Raiders down by 2. Coming up on 15 seconds left to play and a timeout charged. Vandergeest calling for it, or check that, Hollingsworth calling for it, and Coach Lisa Fitch will have her hands full trying to figure out what to do in the last 15 seconds.
Well, Wright State has some very good looks right now on the floor. You have Lenora, who's been effective inside. You have Jess Vandergeest, who's pretty much money as well. But then you have Carrie Bender and Enchanda in there that can shoot from the 3-point line as well. So the first thing that at least from what I would do, and certainly it's anybody's call in terms of coaching because it depends on their philosophy, is you have to take a look at what do you have inside. If you can go inside, get the 2, take it. If not, you have the 3-pointer. If that's open, then look to knock it down and crash the offensive boards. But sometimes coaches like to go for the win, depending upon if they're at home or if they will play the odds going for the win. They'll look to take the 3-pointer. Some others have the philosophy, well, if they're on the road, they don't have anything to lose, so they'll look to go for the 3. Some others look to play for the tie and take their chances in overtime.
Of course, Wright State has not exactly hit the 3 very well this afternoon. In fact, as we're looking here, well, we don't really quite have the numbers for them anymore, but they have not really shot well from behind the arc tonight.
They haven't shot well, but they're certainly capable. And again, you have to look at Shandon, you have to look at Carey. Both of them are very capable of knocking it down. And again, Jeff, what you're talking about is you have to play your odds. You have to play the numbers. Percentages haven't been in Wright State's favor from the 3-point line, but again, anything can happen.
Combs and Vandergeest will be your post players. Carrie Bender out there with Shanda Hollingsworth and Amber Williams. They will be your threats from behind the arc. Hollingsworth behind the arc. 10 seconds left to play in this one. Bender will have to throw something on up. Goes for Williams. 4 on the shot clock. Will throw one up off the side of the glass, and time has run out here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center. UIC breaks a 9-game losing streak as they beat the Wright State Raiders here on the home floor, 52-50. final comments of this one coming on up, and we'll be back in just a moment. Once again, your final score here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center, 52-50. UIC coming back from a 10-point second-half deficit to take this one here at the Nutter Center in the final game of this home season.
Well, you have to give credit to UIC because they were actually doing such a nice job of really making sure that they stayed in the game. They were trying to control the tempo of the game, trying to really control how much they pushed the ball, how much they brought it back, but they really looked to establish it, picking up full court out of their diamond press and going back into their 3-2 zone. Wright State in the first half, they had some good tempo, some good ball movement, really swinging the ball. They had some nice high-low looks, but looked to get out of that towards late in the second half.
Josie Cole had 19, Holly Tam had 18. What a wonderful tandem they proved out to be today.
Well, Cole, you put her down on the block, and she's going to go one-on-one. You give her the ball out on the perimeter, and she's going to look to take it. She makes things happen. At the same time, you have Tam that she wasn't quite really into the flow of her game in the first half, but it's in the second half she really started to pick things up a little bit. Gamers, they come ready to play. They may not be in the game at the very beginning, or at times may not really be totally in the flow, but when it comes down to crunch time, they're going to perform.
Of course, looking on the other end for Wright State, a very good game for Lenora Combs, 17 points of her own.
Well, she did such a nice job in actually having a double-double. She had 17 points and 13 rebounds. And, you know, you can look early on in the game, and she just positioned herself so well for the weak side boards and keeping the ball alive quite a few times.
So basically, in wrapping this on up, what happened there in the second half? I mean, Wright State, of course, had that 10-point lead late in this ball game, and they just simply let it go.
Well, they had a couple of looks at 1 and out for themselves. They wanted to keep UIC at 1 opportunity and out, but you know, you have Wright State coming down, and they had a couple of quick opportunities or quick looks at the basket instead of really looking to attack it and really getting into the flow. The 30-second clock had run down a little bit, so then they had to force some things up. But the other area that I can really look at from the statistics is at the free throw line. UIC went to the line 19 times to 12 for Wright State, but they actually had 4 more free throws made.
UIC moves to a record of 4-18, 2-8 in the conference. Wright State falls to 7-16, 3-8 in the conference. Once again, your final score, 52-50 in favor of UIC. Thanks to our entire Media One crew for their fine work. They were directed today by Tom Stokes. So, for a final time, for Toni Roesch, I'm Geoff Kim saying so long from Dayton. Good night.